Hi, I'm Annika. This is Aria. I've had her for about 4 months, and when she came into care, she actually fitted in my hand. Such a beautiful 260 grammer. She was found by herself without a mom, so that possibly means that she was compromised already. Because passionate people, we pick them up, we do the best we can, and then of course we're devastated when they don't make it. The story with Aria is that a couple of months ago she developed pneumonia, and she didn't react to any of the normal medication. So what we did some tests, and it turned out to be cryptococcus, which is a really, really nasty form of pneumonia. And because she didn't react to any of the normal medication, Dr. Claude here wanted to do a trial, so we tried some new medication, and lo and behold, we got it under control. So she was certainly giving us a lot of hope. About 3 weeks ago, she started to become sick again, and even sicker than ever before. We tried everything, and today I'm here to end her suffering. I would love to keep her with me, but it's not fair to her because she's suffering. She's really quiet. She's sitting with me. She can feel my breathing and my heartbeat. And that's certainly comforting for her, but today we're going to play God and send it to all the other ones that did make it. So hard, and now she's in peace.
It's not the final destination, it's the journey on the way. And I can feel these times are changing, and nothing could stand in my way. I wanna be free, free to find where I belong.
First, Anna came to me after her and her mother were hit by a motor vehicle on the Gold Coast, which is just south of Brisbane. Anna's mother had been killed, and the owner of the vehicle that followed behind the vehicle that struck Anna and her mother picked up this young koala, Joey, and took her home. So Anna went into the intensive care unit and was successfully rehabilitated, and 3 weeks later she came into my care, and she was actually a much bigger koala by the time young Bart arrived. He required quite extensive care. He came to me straight away, and I knew from the start that he had a very strong will to live. I named him Bart after Bart Simpson, the cartoon character, because he was a little terror. I thought putting him with Anna, who was double his size, would be a good idea. But she didn't think so, and there were many times when he was trying to use her as a mother, and she was quite unhappy with the process, and she used to go under the chest that was in their room, knock him off. Of course, he would be extremely distorted, distressed, and cry for her, and she'd sit there quietly minding her own business. And I was thrilled when he grew into a handsome young boy, and he went into kindergarten, as all hand-raised koala joeys do. When it came time to release, there were several issues that really worried me. First of all, Waiver Springs is a suburban area, and we already know hand-raised joeys don't make it in the wild if they go into a suburban area where there's already issues, because they don't seem to have the street smarts. So I didn't want to put him there, and I approached DERM, the Department of Environment and Resource Management, who said he should go back there. That's where he came from, and the law says they have to go back where they came from. So after much politicking, they said, well, okay, how about Noosa Springs Golf Course? So I went up and checked it, as I do with all location sites prior to the release. And yes, there were koala food trees there, and yes, it was not close to dogs or cars, but the bushland was limited, and they had no plans about growing any additional trees. There was also a residential population of koalas there, so I came back and I said, look, I don't think this is a really good place to put him. I would suggest something further in the bush where there's less chances of dogs and cars. They said no, So I had to make the best of what I thought was a bad situation and put him into the Noosa Springs Golf Course. And it wasn't 6 months before I had a call from the hospital saying that Bart's body had been found on Murdering Creek Road, which is a road that runs between the Noosa Springs Golf Course and Noosa National Park, which is where he was trying to go. He'd obviously been harassed by the residential males, pushed to the outer limits of the Noosa Springs Golf Course, and the only way he could get out was through a suburban area. And 2 Dobermans got him, and when he got back to the hospital, his lower torso had something like 40-50 holes in them. And it was less than 9 weeks he was in the wild before he returned to me.
It's not the final destination. It's the journey on the